my little party animals. HipHipRenee here today with a brand new speed build for you. And today we are finally joining in on another collab with Artistic Gamer 7, aka Dani. So if you were part of my old channel, then you probably remember seeing these collab videos. Dani does these almost every single month. I think there's really only 1 month in the, just over a year that I have kind of known her that she has not done a collab. And she does a really amazing job. Every time we do these, she is just so good about, going around and touring everybody's builds or looking at their Sims if that's what we happen to be doing that month. She's just she's so on top of things, and she comes up with really creative and clever ideas. So I was really glad that I found some extra time this month to be able to do this collab with her. It has been super fun. I really enjoyed this one. This one it's just right up my alleyway, guys. So if you watch my build videos on a regular basis, I do try and come up with a family or a type of person, someone that would be living in the house that I am creating. I try and come up with that person in my mind. I find it makes it a lot easier to decorate a house and build a house if I know exactly the type of person that I am building the house for. If I don't have a clear-cut direction as far as who is going to be living in the house, I tend to go really overboard and don't really know where to stop myself. And I end up with these just kind of over-cluttered homes that don't really have any clear direction. They're just kind of all over the place, nothing super exciting about them. But when I come up with a family or a person that is living in a house, I find it, of course, a lot easier because you're decorating for a certain person, for a certain personality. And that's exactly the goal of this collab this month. So this collab is the flower collab. That's what I'm going to be calling it. I don't think that's its official name, but that's what I'm going to call it. So this flower collab, Dani had created some flower sims a little while back. And she made all of these beautiful flowers, all these really cool exotic sounding flowers, some of which, or most of which, I had never actually heard of before, did not know that they were real flowers until I actually looked them up. And I was like, oh, wow, yeah, that's a flower. So this was a really cool collab. We basically each got to pick a different flower, and I think there were 3 people per flower. And whichever flower you selected, you had to build a house for that flower sim. So Dani had thankfully already created the flower sims because I'm not so good at cast, guys. It is not my forte. I would never say that I am good at cast, but Dani is really good at cast, and she's very creative when she comes up with these sims. So she did an absolutely wonderful job of turning all of these flowers into sims with really rich stories to them. It really made sense what she chose to do with these sims. So I ended up choosing Lobelia, which I hope that I'm pronouncing correctly. And I looked it up, and Lobelia it's a really just very pretty blue flower. Some of them come in purple, but most of them are blue. And that's the sim that I chose. So when Dani created this sim, she of course gave them all traits to go along with their flower. So Lobelia loves the outdoors, she is outgoing, and she's creative. So I really kind of wanted to go with a blue color scheme for this house. I feel like that made sense because the flower itself usually tends to be blue. So I thought, let's just go full on with this and go with a color scheme. I would not say this is a solid color build or anything like that, but it does have a lot of blue elements in it, I think, that really bring the house together and make it obvious that it is built for somebody who either really likes the color blue or perhaps is blue, like a flower sim. So I created this beautiful blue house for her, and I figured with the creative trait, I had to go with painting. So I assume that Lobelia enjoys painting, so she has a lot of random painting supplies. If you notice, we're going to be going in right now and putting out a little painting area in the front of her house. She has these really big, beautiful wildflower gardens in the front of her home. So I thought that would be, maybe if I was a painter, where would I want to paint? And in a field of flowers, I don't know, that sounds really good to me. So I put down a stupid amount of flowers. Guys, this is ridiculous. It took me forever to put down these flowers in the front of the house because I was really trying to not just plop the same flower down 900 times in the same direction because I have the tendency to do that. Flowers don't all grow in the same direction. You do have to alternate and move around the flowers when you're placing them to make them look a little bit more realistic. So I did that this time and it took me quite a while. But if you notice, I am putting down all blue flowers, again, to go with the idea that Lobelia is mainly blue. Of course, threw a little bit of purple in there just to kind of, nod to the fact that sometimes they can be purple as well. I will admit I did not play test this house. I don't know if that easel with all of those flowers right there is usable. I tried to make sure that I left enough space to make it usable, but I could be very wrong. The easel could be way too close to those flowers to actually be used. I'm not sure. I think it'll be okay, but I don't know. And I don't want to tell you that it's okay and have you download the house and be like, Renee, it's not working. Like I actually told you it's not working. So the exterior of the house, I did go with the medium wall height, which when I was doing my screenshots and after I had uploaded it to the gallery, I sort of regretted because these adorable doors that I put on the house are small doors. They're not medium doors, so they don't take up a lot of space. And when you look at the house head on, it looks really odd because there's just a ton of space above the door before you hit that trellis. And it just, I don't know, it looks a little weird. Let me know how you guys feel about that because that's something that's always kind of bothered me is that once you get into the medium and the large doors, you don't really get these like nice rustic-y kind of doors. They're all very, very stylized, but sometimes the small wall height is just too small. Large wall height is always too big though. That is my personal opinion. I do not like the tall wall height. Medium and small, those are my two sweet spots. I enjoy those a lot. But of course, there are a lot of people in this collab, so while we are going in just kind of working on a layout and placing down some of the kind of major appliances and things like that, I do of course want to give a shout out to every single person that is in this collab. So of course we have Artistic Gamer 7, SmurfetteSims, Dasshutsu Gaming, I hope I pronounced that correctly, Erin, the Simpanions, my homegirl LilacLydiaDeetz, SweSims, Brizzelblubb, Nicole Kaylyn, GenieSims, Mena Bucher, AllySim, SimplyReneeSims, love your name, girl, RecklessXSimmer, and ZaraElaine. Now, there are two people on this list who do not have YouTube channels. That would be LilacLydiaDeetz and Mena Bucher. So you will be able to find their creations on Twitter. So their Twitters are going to be linked in the description below. Everybody else, their Twitter and their YouTube channel will be linked. Someday I will get LilacLydiaDeetz to create a YouTube channel because she's fabulous and I think that she should. If you agree, comment down below and yell at LilacLydiaDeetz for not having a YouTube channel. So sorry, LilacLydiaDeetz. So going into the house, I did start with the kitchen over here. So the kitchen, of course, I wanted to do a little bit of blue, so I made sure to bring that in with the appliances because the only blue colors that you get with cabinets, if you don't pick the shiny cabinet, which the shiny cabinet, like, I like it because there's so many color swatches, but it just doesn't go in most of my style builds. I tend to go with, rustic or more suburban. And I feel like those cabinets are just, they're a little bit more modern. They're a little bit more contemporary. They're very shiny. They're very sleek. They don't really speak, just normal regular old countertops to me for some reason. And the other ones, the ones that would kind of fit in as far as color is concerned, they are very light blue. And that's not really what I wanted to do with the kitchen, at least. The rest of the house does have some light blues in it, but I don't know. I wanted the kitchen to be a little bit more kind of dramatic, I guess, because there's not a lot of space in this house. It's a very, very small house. It is literally one room and a bathroom. So you'll find that the bed of this house is actually just kind of behind the living room. Like there's no separation to anything in this house. And I thought that kind of went to the Loves Outdoors portion of Lobelia's kind of just personality. It made a little bit more sense to not have her, living in this big, grand, luxurious home. She really is, in this house to eat, sleep, and shower, and then every other waking moment she is spent outside. She's right near the beach on Brindleton Bay, so she's got a really good area of, the Sims world to be able to live in and to be outside more often than being inside. She does have a little bit of living space outside, but honestly, it's not that much. I didn't go really crazy as far as the yard here. I did use a little bit of terrain tools, but nothing super over the top. The outside of this house, I did have a sim. I know I didn't play test the build, but I did have a sim move in just to be able to do like my screenshots and things like that. And it seemed like she was able to very easily move around the outside of the lot, which seems to be an issue that I have when I am building with terrain tools. I don't know where the point is that a sim will be able to get up a smaller little hill, or, when the point as to when the hill gets too steep that a sim cannot walk on it. I think I just need to play around. As much as I hate this, I need to play around with terrain tools a little bit more to kind of find out that sweet spot as far as, having to add stairs or soften up the terrain a little bit. I find a lot of my builds that I do use terrain, the Sims cannot walk freely outside. It's very, very hard, and it just doesn't work. So, it is what it is. But going over here next to the bathroom, so I did use that little bookshelf door to get into the bathroom. I thought that was kind of a nice idea to multi-purpose the door. So, she doesn't have a lot of space in this house to be able to fit in something like a bookshelf. So I thought having the door as the bookshelf made a lot more sense for her. And then I love this new little notebook decoration. I wish it was usable, but I like this. I don't know what it is about this particular item, but I can't stop using it. This just reminds me so much of me. You go into I'm talking literally any single room in my house, and you will find a notebook with a pen. And likely the notebook is open to whatever the last note I took was, whether it is a message on my phone. I do some sales calls and things like that for a local yoga studio. So I actually have their studio phone on my person all the time. So I have a notebook on my writing desk for messages that I get on that phone, so I can kind of get them over to the owner. I have them in the kitchen for things that we need to buy. I have it in the dining room for, I don't know, whatever I do in the dining room, which is certainly not eat. I have a bunch of notebooks all around my computer with all of my Sims ideas and my schedule and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, that is my new favorite item. It is such a silly, stupid little item, but it really it's something that I didn't know I needed in my game until I got it in my game, and now I can't stop using it. So, keep your eyes open. Maybe that'll be a fun little Easter egg thing. See if you can figure out where I put the notebook in this build. Because again, it has been in literally every single build. But we are coming to the end of this build, so I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. I had so much fun working on this. This was a really cool and clever kind of challenge idea. I just like being able to build a specific house for a specific sim. It really just makes me feel like I have a good and solid direction, and I can really just, kind of get into that particular sim's likes and personality and their taste and things like that. So if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up down below. That would be much appreciated. If you're new here or you're not new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell so you get notifications every single time I post a new video. And I will see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.